Wow. Didn't see that coming, that's for sure. Oh, man. We, pro wrestling fans from all around the world, of all shapes and sizes, we gotta talk. Because WWE just released some more talent. Just out of nowhere, all today. I am not so sure if they are done or not, but a good handful of talent, main roster and NXT, have been released. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, but it was quite shocking. Quite shocking. But I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and going to talk about that, and going to talk about something that just came up in regards to TNA. So it was just very interesting. So so check it out. Looking at the talent of wrestlers as part of WWE just got released today. So, you know what? Let's start with the NXT talent and then kind of work our way up. So, first off, Javier Bernal, which honestly is not a name that I've heard much lately. But Javier Bernal, I mean, I don't even remember the last match that he's had. So the last match he had was a house show on April 26th. Lost to Channing Lorenzo. He did appear on, a couple of episodes of Evolve. So he had, done a little something there. But has mainly been, for the most part, it's mainly been a jobber. Excuse me. But yeah, has mainly been a jobber. Hasn't really done much on-camera stuff with NXT lately. So, I mean, of course it's a bummer to see anybody get laid off, fired, all of the above. But yeah. He's done some work with Evolve, or the new Evolve that debuted a while ago. But nothing really memorable with Javier Bernal, to be honest with you. So, but hopefully he gets picked up somewhere soon. I mean, he's only 26 years old, so still pretty young. But yeah. Next we go into the Metaphor. So the Metaphor recently, upon Noam Dar's return and winning back the Heritage Cup, they decided to all go their separate ways. And sure enough, look at what it's led to. As both Oro Mensah and Jakara Jackson have been released. Of course, both of them part of the Metaphor. Jakara Jackson was one half of the Meta Girls. It was her and Lash Legend. Which, to be honest, that was a pretty big surprise. Seeing both of them let go. Especially Jakara Jackson. Like, you had a solid tag team in the Meta Girls in Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And, with how they were building up the women's division, they were really having plenty for, the ladies to do singles, and had a tag division. And now splitting them up, Lash Legend is still there, but letting go of Jakar Jackson, that was shocking. That was really shocking because they had a good tag team there. They had a good tag team there, and they were getting utilized as well. In NXT, even a little bit on the main roster, even a little bit on TNA. So, yeah, that was a shocker. That was really a shocker. And Oro Mensah has been, wrestling some and Evolve as well. And, 28 years old. Watched him quite a bit, especially back in NXT UK. He was a former NXT UK Tag Team Champion with Oliver Carter. Or with Ashton Smith, back when he was Oliver Carter before he had the name change. But, yeah, it's a bummer to see him let go. I thought he was a really good wrestler. Even had a match on TNA Impact as well. But, yeah, it's a bummer. It's really a bummer. Because I thought he was a good wrestler. But, yeah, I didn't think it was going to go down like that after they broke up the metaphor, but yeah. But I guess that was their way of pretty much writing off Jakara Jackson and Oro Mensah. It's just such a bummer because you really had a great tag team in Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, the Meta Girls. So that was really a bummer. That was such a bummer. So Gallus, all three members of Gallus were released. That's Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, Wolfgang. Now, we haven't really seen Gallus much lately. Shoot. I don't even remember the last storyline they were in, to be honest with you. But apparently they've had some matches, some house show matches, and they've been on Evolve. But the last real big storyline they had, they challenged for the NXT tag titles, which they're, former tag champs. But, shoot, I think the last time I really saw them was when they feuded with the Rascals a little bit. They had a match. They had a trios match with the Rascals. I remember that. That was before Wesley turned on the Rascals. But, honestly, it had been a while since they've been really on NXT TV. Like I said, they've been showcased a couple of times on Evolve, but not much. I was looking on Twitter, and somebody came across a very interesting idea. And it had Gallus, and then he had the United Empire banner. The idea of Gallus, the Coffey Brothers, and Wolfgang, and United Empire? I'm down. They're kind of lacking some members anyway. Especially with Jeff Cobb leaving, Will Ospreay not really, part of that. Aussie Open. But at the same time, I could see Gallus, honestly, I could see Gallus in TNA. Heck, New Japan. Like I said, join United Empire. I'm down. I'm totally down for that. But, yeah, there were a trio I liked, especially back in the NXT UK days. But, yeah, I could see them United Empire, sure, I'm down. I'm totally down. Let's see. These next few were also quite a surprise. Eddy Thorpe got released. That was definitely a surprise because I felt like Eddy Thorpe was being utilized quite a bit. He was in the NXT Championship picture. I mean, he had been competing and been in all different storylines. Has been a face, has been a heel in NXT. So honestly, Eddy Thorpe getting let go was definitely a shock. That was definitely a shock. To be honest, I'm not so sure what's next for him. I mean, maybe TNA, maybe he returns to Japan as Carl Fredericks. Because remember, he was a young lion. Honestly, maybe a return to Japan. Return back to being Carl Fredericks. I could see it. I could see it. Yeah, I could see that. Another release that happened. Gigi Dolin. Gigi Dolin got released. And that's another one that was a surprise because her and Tatum Paxley were getting showcased. They had a trio with those two and Shotzi. And that was an awesome trio that I felt like had potential. And Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolin were competing as a tag team. They were looking good. They had a couple of tag title shots for the WWE Women's Tag titles and TNA tag title, knockout tag titles. So, yeah, that was a big shock because I felt like there was a lot of great chemistry with Gigi Dolin, Tatum Paxley, and Shotzi. So, yeah, not sure what's up with that. But, I mean, hey, maybe she could reunite with her husband, Zachary Wentz. As part of the Rascals in TNA. Maybe she goes back to being Priscilla Kelly. I don't know, but honestly, that was really a surprise, a big surprise seeing Gigi Dolin let go. Another big one, Cora Jade. I honestly did not expect Cora Jade to get let go. She had challenged for the TNA Knockouts Championship, and I felt like she was getting constant TV time. Yeah, I was pretty shocked to see Cora Jade let go. I mean, I know a lot of folks aren't, crazy fans of her, and that's fine, but she was getting showcased pretty consistently. So, seeing Cora Jade let go, that was quite a shock. That was quite a shock. But she's another one, also AKA Ilana Black. Is only 24 years old. She's young. Hopefully she'll get some new opportunities. Because, like I said, she's even wrestled for GCW before. I mean, she could make a return there. Black Label Pro. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she popped up in GCW again. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Cora Jade. But that was a shocker. That was definitely a shocker. Riley Osborne got let go as well, which hadn't really seen him much since the whole falling out of Chase University, which apparently is back now. So there was that. You know, he had that angle, I believe, with Thea Hale, I think it was. But honestly, dude is very talented. I will say that. He is very talented. And, you know, I think there's great potential with Riley Osborne. Let me see how old he is. 27. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Also known as Josh Terry. And of course he's from the UK. But he has 11 years of in-ring experience. So honestly, I think he'll definitely get back on his feet. I mean, maybe a return to the UK. I don't know. He wrestled with 205 Live at NXT UK under Josh Morrell. So, honestly, I could see him get picked up somewhere. Like I said, maybe an opportunity in TNA, maybe AEW or New Japan. I mean, the dude has 11 years in-ring experience. So, honestly, I think he could potentially go somewhere and do well. So, we'll see. Okay, I think that's all the NXT talent that I covered. Yeah, I think that's all the NXT talent. If I'm missing anybody, do let me know. So, main roster talent that have been let go. The biggest surprise was Dakota Kai. That's right, Dakota Kai has been released. And honestly, she really deserved so much better. Yes, I understand she was somewhat injury prone, but I really felt like she deserved so much better. And they never once put a singles title on her. And you know what? I think, honestly, I could see her go, heck, I could see her go back to Japan. Maybe Stardom, maybe Marigold. Honestly, I think she could go anywhere. Heck, TNA. I think she would get showcased really well in TNA. You know, whether she stays as Dakota Kai or she goes back to being Evie, doesn't really matter. But Dakota Kai, you know, even at 36 years of age, she still can go in the ring. You know, she could still go in the ring. And, you know, I would love to see her back in a Stardom ring, personally. I would personally love to see her back in a Stardom ring. I mean, heck, maybe she joins Empress Nexus Venus or something like that. Or, you know, or if she wants to go at it solo, so be it. Or go to Marigold. You know, she could, you know, square up with Mayu Iwatani. You know? You know, AEW, I don't know if she'll really get showcased consistently. But, you know, Dakota Kai has wrestled against so much talent all over the world. Joshi talent, like, everywhere. So, honestly, she can mix it up with anybody. But I do wish her the best. I would love to see her back in Japan. I really would. Another one that I wouldn't mind seeing in Japan, Shayna Baszler. She got released. And to be honest, the fact that Shayna Baszler got released without ever having a single main roster women's singles championship run is blasphemy. Is straight blasphemy. the first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion. And yet, main roster, she's only been a 3-time tag champ. And we're talking about the same Shayna Baszler that wiped the floor with everyone in the Elimination Chamber. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, Shayna still has a lot to give. Even at 44 years of age, she still has a lot to bring to the table. And honestly, she's another one I wouldn't mind seeing back in Stardom. Heck, I would love to see a UWF rules match between Shayna Baszler and Shuri. I would love to see that. I don't even think Shayna and Shuri have ever gone up against each other. I would love to see that match. Even if it was a regular match. I would love to see that. But I think it should be UWF rules. But get Shayna in Stardom. Or even Mari Gold. You know? Shoo. I mean, she already has experience wrestling Joshis, and has even had experience in Japan. She's competed for Stardom before. So, honestly, I would love to see Shayna, the Queen of Spades, return to Japan. I'd totally be down for that. Alright. Next up, going back to this tag team division. This women's tag team division. Kayden Carter and Katana Chance both got let go. That was another big surprise. That was another big surprise. And see, the crazy thing is, these two have been NXT Women's Tag Team Champions as well as WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Of course, they had a longer reign as NXT Women's Tag Champs, but still, this tag team was fire. Had some of the coolest moves. They reminded me of the female version of the Motor City Machine Guns in their prime. Really a bummer. Really a bummer. But I would love to see this team in TNA. I would love to see them as part of TNA. I think they would bring the fire to the Knockouts division, you know, singles and tag. Especially tag. You know? Or heck, I wouldn't mind seeing these two ladies go international. Japan? Heck yeah, why not? Why not? I think they would bring a lot. So, I hope they get picked up like that because, honestly, that tag team is excellent. Katana Chance, Kayden Carter, that's an awesome tag team. And I think they could really spark any tag division of any promotion. So, hopefully they get scooped up ASAP. And finally, this one stings because he's from North Carolina, just like me. Braun Strowman got released. Which was another shocker because he was just recently in a storyline with Jacob Fatu. And I don't see him making a comeback to WWE, like, for a third or fourth time, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was a bummer seeing Braun Strowman get let go. But yeah, not really sure where I could see him go. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. So, but I hope he gets picked up soon. I mean, I hope all of these released talent get picked up. I don't know if they're gonna add any more between now and like the rest of this weekend, but whew, that that one stings. That one stings. But I hope everybody gets back on their feet ASAP. All right. Next up, wanted to talk a little bit about TNA wrestling because apparently some news came out. So check this out. So apparently TNA officials have informed the locker room today that going forth, excessive blood and blading will not be permissible by the promotion. This was made official earlier today during a talent meeting. In the case of hardway blood or something like a bloody nose or mouth, blood will be allowed, and it was noted that it's understandable that sometimes blood will be a result of contact in the ring. But purposeful, heavy bloodletting is a thing of the past in the promotion. The decision was made in order to protect the health of the talents as well as keeping current and potential advertisers and partners in mind. The last match for now that will feature any excessive blood from the promotion will be a dog collar match between TNA International Champion Steve Maclin and Eric Young, which was taped on May 1st, which was yesterday. Wow. So, this is interesting, y'all. This is very interesting. So, for TNA Wrestling, no more heavy bleeding, no more blading. And the main sentence that stood out was the decision was made in order to protect the health of the talents as well as keeping current and potential advertisers and partners in mind. Now, y'all do know what one of the main recent partnerships that were established, right? TNA and WWE. I don't know what to really expect from this. So, here's what I'm thinking. After reading that, I'm thinking one of two things. One, this could be possibly, and I hate to even mention this because I didn't even think this was a thing. This could be one clue and step closer to perhaps WWE acquiring Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. Might not be now, might be much later, but it's kind of a big deal. Or two, my guess is they might be getting prepared to go to a different TV network that may not really look at excessive bleeding and blading as a good thing to showcase. And they have to clean up their act on that. I think that's a possibility as well. That maybe, because I think there were Access, and I think that maybe that deal's running out, and maybe they got to get ready to switch to a new network that might not really smile upon heavy bleeding and blading. Those are the only two things that I could think of for now. But that's pretty big news. That's pretty big news. But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But man, another interesting evening in the pro wrestling world. But that's all that I have. Let me know y'all's thoughts on the releases. And I'll list them in the description. And let me know your thoughts on this new order with TNA Wrestling. No excessive blood, no blading going forward. Let me know your thoughts there. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.